Let me start with a question. You work, money comes in every month, so why does it still feel like the money just disappears? That's where this story begins. Once upon a time, middle class meant safety. Today, it means pressure. But is that pressure really your fault? Imagine this like a game. You follow the rules, you work hard, yet you keep losing. The problem isn't the player, the problem is the rules. In your parents' time, one job equals one life. Today, two jobs equals barely surviving the month. So did people suddenly become lazy? No. Do you know what the middle class really was? It was a safe zone, a place where people could plan without fear, buy a home, raise kids, think about the future. From the 1950s to the 1980s, work had rewards. When companies made more money, workers earned more too. In 2026, companies make record profits. Shareholders celebrate. Workers just feel tired. This change didn't happen overnight. It happened slowly. So slowly, most people never noticed. No one came one day and said, "From today, the middle class is over." Instead, they said, "Work a little harder, adjust a little more." Look at today's reality. Wages grow slowly, costs rise fast. Savings are almost gone. One medical emergency equals total collapse. This isn't the middle class. This is living on the edge. So the question must change. Not, why am I falling behind? The real question is, who is this system actually working for? And this story doesn't end here, because so far, we've only seen the surface. The real shock comes in the next part, where homes, education, and jobs turn into the biggest enemies of the middle class. The three traps that killed the middle class. The middle class didn't collapse overnight. It fell into three traps: housing, education, jobs. One by one number. Housing, not shelter, a prison. Homes once meant safety. Today, homes mean debt. Let me ask you something. If you work your entire life just to keep a roof, are you really free? In 2026, home prices rise faster than wages. Rent goes up every year. Paychecks barely move. Old middle class rule, buy early, relax later. New rule, pay rent, survive. Housing is no longer a ladder, it's an anchor. Two numbers, education. From ladder to loan. Education once set people free. Now it ties them down. No degree, no job. Get a degree, get debt. Graduation day now means starting life in the negative. Education used to mean upward movement. Now it means pay first, live later. This is where the middle class breaks. Three numbers, jobs. From stability to survival. Jobs were once contracts. Today, they're uncertainty. No permanence. No benefits. No clear future. Companies say, be flexible, which really means you take the risk, they take the profit. One layoff, one illness, everything collapses. The middle class can't stand here. The silent squeeze. All three traps work together. You feel the pressure, but you hear no noise. At the top, asset owners. At the bottom, debt, bills, stress. That's the middle class squeeze. And the story isn't over, because in the next part, the biggest truth comes out. The middle class didn't lose. Wealth just changed direction. The big shift no one talked about. Now let's say the uncomfortable truth. The middle class didn't become poor. Money simply changed direction. There was a time when work equals money. Today, assets equals money. That small shift created a massive explosion. From labor to assets. People once earned by working. Now money flows into stocks, real estate, companies, algorithms. If you own assets, your wealth grows even while you sleep. If you don't, you keep running. The biggest truth of 2025, wages are not passive, assets are. That's why the gap keeps growing. Inflation, the invisible thief. Inflation steals quietly. Your salary rises 5%, your costs rise 10%. You feel richer, you're actually poorer. This is where the middle class gets trapped. They hold cash. Cash loses value. Why the rich feel safe? Here's the key question. Why are the rich calm during inflation? Because their money lives in assets, businesses, equity. Inflation raises asset prices. What hurts the middle class helps the wealthy. The psychological trap. The most dangerous part? The middle class blames itself. I'm not smart enough. I made bad choices. But the game is rigged. The system is designed to keep you behind without showing you why. This isn't an accident. It's structure. The breaking point. In 2026, being middle class means no buffer, no backup, no margin. One shock and everything collapses. Job loss, medical bills, market crashes. This is no longer the middle class. It's a compressed class. But the story isn't over, because in the final part, the most important question appears. What now? Adapt, accept, or push back? So what happens now? Now comes the hardest question. If the middle class is truly gone, where do you stand? First, accept one truth. This system was not built to make you wealthy. It was built for asset owners, capital, power, the new reality. The middle class once meant balance. In 2026, it means risk management. Survival now requires multiple income streams, low debt, high awareness. One job is not enough. One skill is not enough. It's unfair, but it's real. The three choices. Three paths remain. Choice 1, denial. Waiting for things to go back to normal. Time passes, pressure increases. Choice 2, blind acceptance. Saying, this is just life. The squeeze continues. Choice 3, smart adaptation. Understanding the rules, adjusting yourself. What adaptation really means? Adaptation doesn't mean becoming rich. It means understanding the game. Treat debt as an enemy. Don't let cash sit idle. Turn skills into assets. Use time as leverage. These aren't luxuries, they're defenses. The final truth. Here's the most important line. The middle class is dead, but people are not. You didn't fail, the system changed. This video isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up. If you made it this far, you're someone who thinks, and thinking is how control begins. Share this story so others realize they're not alone. Subscribe for more stories that explain big systems in simple words, because in this era, the most valuable asset is clarity.